Imagine your grandma ironing underwear like it was the Super Bowl halftime show, while your grandpa hoarded bacon grease in jars like liquid treasure. Generations before us lived with routines we laugh at today, yet those strange traditions were clever survival hacks disguised as daily chores. Stick around because number 1 is weirdly familiar. You probably did it this week without even noticing. Number 8, saving every jar. Grandparents collected jars like trophies. Pasta sauce, peanut butter, pickles, every container was a prize to be rinsed, dried, and reused. Tossing them out wasn't thrifty, it was sinful. To them, jars weren't trash, they were storage before storage bins existed. Jars stored buttons, coins, leftover soup, and even screws. Imagine opening a jam jar only to find nails staring back. That wasn't clutter, it was innovation. Today, we drop $20 at Target for aesthetic mason jars. Jokes on us because grandma had Pinterest before Pinterest. It wasn't quirky, it was resourceful. Jars saved money, preserved order, and gave households flexibility. Their thrift looked eccentric, but really, it was efficient. And if hoarded jars feel odd, get ready for freezers that turned into icy fortresses demanding your grandparents' time and sweat. Number 7, defrosting the freezer. Long before self-defrosting freezers, families faced an Arctic challenge. Food had to be removed and walls of ice chipped away by hand. Towels covered the floor, pans of hot water steamed, and butter knives worked overtime as chisels. It was exhausting, yet essential. Picture your grandpa hunched like an explorer, carving glaciers, while grandma watched chicken thaw dangerously fast. Whole weekends were sacrificed. Unlike us, they couldn't just hit a button and binge Netflix while the freezer fixed itself. Back then, it was sweat equity. The ritual wasn't about fun, it was survival. Preserving food mattered. Families bonded over shared frustration, even if nobody smiled in the photos. And if that chore feels like too much effort, just imagine ironing socks. Yes, socks weren't safe from the iron. Number 6. Ironing absolutely everything. Wrinkle-free living wasn't optional. Grandparents ironed sheets, pillowcases, and sometimes underwear. Why? Because wrinkles meant sloppiness, and sloppy meant judgment from neighbors, coworkers, and dinner guests. Smooth fabric symbolized pride and discipline. Picture grandma with a pile of laundry taller than a toddler. She pressed for hours while steam clouded the kitchen. Meanwhile, you and I celebrate if we iron one shirt a month. Different priorities, same species. It sounds obsessive, but it was social currency. Neighbors noticed creases. Wrinkle-free homes meant respect. It wasn't vanity, it was survival in a reputation economy. And if ironing socks feels absurd, wait until you discover families bathing once a week, all sharing the same tub. Number 5, the weekly bath night. Daily showers, forget it. For many households, bath night came once a week, often Saturday. Families heated water, poured it into a single tub, and lined up. Eldest bathed first, youngest last. By then, water was less than pristine. It sounds medieval, but hot water was scarce. Heating it took real effort, not a switch. So everyone shared. By the time the last kid climbed in, that tub resembled soup. Today, we panic if our showers run past 10 minutes. That ritual wasn't neglect, it was efficiency. Families didn't complain because culture normalized it. It was teamwork, even if awkward. And if sharing a tub sounds wild, imagine drying all those washed clothes without a machine. Welcome to the backyard clothesline. Number 4, hanging laundry outside. Grandparents didn't need gyms because chasing wet laundry was cardio. Clotheslines stretched across yards with socks and sheets flapping like suburban flags. Dryers weren't standard yet, and electricity wasn't cheap. Kids turned laundry into play, weaving through damp sheets like a maze. Fresh air created the original fabric softener. But when sudden rain hit, chaos followed, families sprinting outside to rescue clothes from nature's sabotage. That scramble was comedy and survival rolled into one. Line drying wasn't quaint, it was default. Today, eco-warriors brag about sustainability. Back then, it was called Tuesday. And if chasing laundry feels quirky, wait until you learn why jars of bacon fat weren't disgusting, but gourmet flavor bombs. Number 3, saving bacon grease. In grandparent kitchens, bacon grease wasn't waste, it was liquid gold. After breakfast, they poured it into jars, letting it sit near the stove. Later, it flavored beans, biscuits, or cornbread. Forget avocado toast, this was the affordable luxury. Sure, dietitians today might faint, but in households where every calorie mattered, grease meant flavor and fuel. Tossing it was like tossing money. Meanwhile, we spend $12 on infused olive oil at Whole Foods. Grandma already hacked flavor science decades ago. That jar symbolized resilience and thrift. It stretched meals, saved resources, and made bland food delicious. And if bacon grease jars seem intense, the next habit explains how aluminum foil transformed from single-use to endless origami projects. And number 2, reusing every piece of foil. Foil wasn't disposable, it was immortal. Grandparents carefully washed, smoothed, and folded every piece for reuse. Drawers filled with wrinkled stacks that looked like shiny origami collections. It made perfect sense. Foil was expensive and waste wasn't tolerated. Kids were trained to scrape crumbs before folding it neatly. Tossing foil after one pizza would have been scandalous. Compare that to us buying boxes monthly like it's no big deal. Funny thing, that habit was eco-friendly decades before hashtags. It wasn't quirky, it was discipline. Their shiny stacks meant thrift and control. And if stacks of foil seem odd, the final ritual shows paranoia disguised as tradition, locking doors like theater every single night. Number 1. Locking doors with rituals. For grandparents, locking up was a sacred routine. Doors clicked shut, chains latched, curtains drawn. Kids marched back downstairs if anyone forgot. It wasn't paranoia, it was peace of mind. Neighbors judged too, forgetting to lock made you reckless. The ritual became instinct passed down silently. Security wasn't just safety, it was social proof. That nightly checklist turned into family theater. Sound familiar? Today we recheck car doors, reread texts, and scroll apps we just closed. They locked doors. We lock screens. Same instinct, different objects. And that's the bridge between their weird habits and our modern compulsions. Here's the twist, your grandparents weren't weird, they were practical. Their so-called quirks stretched budgets, protected families, and made life manageable. We mock jars of bacon fat, yet brag about eco-hacks on TikTok. We laugh at bath night, then chase self-care Sundays. So what if these old habits weren't outdated, but previews of our own? What if your grandkids one day roast you for $9 Starbucks lattes, endless Netflix binges, or paying rent for digital clothes in the metaverse? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share if you've lived a throwback tradition, and hit like if you've ever seen Grandma save foil. And don't forget to subscribe, because upgrading your curiosity is the only survival hack that never goes out of style.